It is just that when the moon takes certain positions, it heightens whatever you are. If you are loving, you become more loving. If you're joyful, you become more joyful. If you're blissful, you become much more blissful. If you're a little insane, you become much more insane. If you're meditative, you become far more meditative. It just enhances everything that you are. So generally, the influence of the moon is considered illogical. Anything illogical, generally in the West got labeled as madness or insanity. But here, we always saw the limitations of logic. Logic is very useful to conduct the material aspect of your life. So, when it comes to subjective dimensions of life, if you're not willing to step beyond the limitations of your logic, then nothing ever will happen. The very process of our birth is connected to these cycles. You know that clearly the feminine cycles and our birth is very directly connected.
The existence of every human being began with the process of reproduction. And the menstrual cycle is related to the female reproductive system. This fundamental reproductive process in women is very much linked to the cycles of the moon. According to spirituality, there is a relation between the menstrual cycle and the lunar cycle of the moon. So, the timing with which the moon goes around the planet, and the cycles that human beings go through within themselves, and the process of creating our body, are very deeply connected. Other than this, we have many other relations with the moon. There have been some studies from sleep laboratories in which they have found the effect of lunar cycle on the electroencephalographic recording of sleep. Did you know that women whose periods started when the moon is half full reported better sleep? Though, women whose cycles began when the moon is less than half full had worse sleep. And this is a fact given not by the scriptures but by science. Another interesting fact is that, on the nights leading to full moon, sleep starts later and is shorter for most human beings. This shortest sleep duration takes place 3 to 5 days before the full moon, when the moon rises early. This is because human brain induces sleep in dark. But when the moon rises, just after the sun sets, light continues to persist.
Stuff. Essentially, you're saying chemistry determines the nature of your experience, of life itself. So, to maintain that chemistry which is always blissful and ecstatic, moon and being aligned with the moon is a very important part of it.
As the moon has a huge influence on our daily life, so in ancient India, people generally used 2 calendars, first one is solar, and the other is lunar. For daily affairs and timings, they used the solar calendar. And, for life's spiritual purpose, they used the lunar one. So, the deeper perception of life have always been symbolized with the moon. Moonlight and mysticism is always connected. And, to symbolize this connection, our Bholenath wore the moon in its crescent shape on his head. Please subscribe the channel if you like the video and support us in making further videos like this.